Hello everyone, welcome to week 4 lecture number 3 on introduction of this ABC analysis under the topic customer segmentation matrix. Today we will dive into this powerful tool for prioritizing customers and resources in business and marketing. I will go through the slides one by one, explaining the concepts, the underlying principles and applications. Let's begin. As you can see on the title slide that it is all about the framework called ABC analysis, which was initially developed for the purpose of inventory management, but later on it was extended to various domains, and one of the domain which embrace this framework is the customer segmentation domain. Before we jump in, let me set the stage. In today's competitive business landscape, not all the customers are equally important or equally valuable for the organizations. There are certain customers who will bring more value for the organization. They will probably purchase more amount of products from your organization, and there will be some customers who will always look for discounts when the discounts will be extended, and then they will purchase the products. So basically the way we will be treating the different categories of customers should be different, because at the heart we want to maximize the value for our business. Basically this ABC analysis is a strategic framework that helps the organizations categorize and prioritize based on the customer's value. It's rooted in the efficiency and has applications far beyond its original context, which was the inventory management. By the end of this lecture, you will understand how to apply this ABC matrix to your business applications, how we can derive benefit by ABC based segmentations, what are the various advantages associated with ABC based segmentation, what are the limitations of ABC based segmentation. So all these things we will discuss with examples as we move forward through the slides. So let us first start with this introduction of ABC analysis. Here we will try to understand the basics of this framework. ABC consumer segmentation is a method for categorizing the customers based on their revenue contribution or any other key metrics that is predefined. So the metrics may be such as purchase frequency or profitability. This particular framework is tied up to this famous principle called the Pareto principle, which talks about the 80-20 rules. Means 20% of your customers will contribute to the 80% of the business value. Essentially, the ABC analysis divides the customers into 3 categories: category A, category B and category C. The category A customers are most valuable customers, category B customers are of medium value, and category C customers are of low value. You can think of it as a way to focus on your efforts where they matter the most. Rather than treating all customers equally, we will try to treat those customers with more importance who create more value for our organization, and probably we will treat those customers with less effort who brings lesser value for our organization. A customer may be my top spenders who deserve personalized attention, while the C customers could be handled through some automated emails. We will not invest much on C customers because they bring less value for my organization. This particular approach is used in, as per the current data is concerned, it is used in about 78% of the Fortune 500 companies. So that's a testament to its practicability. As I said that it is originated in supply chain management, but has evolved into cornerstone of marketing strategy. We can think about a software company like Adobe. So, who can be our, if I am Adobe, then who can be our A customers? The A customers might be the large enterprises subscribing to our full suites, to our full modules. On the other hand, the C customers can be the individual freelancers with basic plans. So, prioritizing A helps maximize the revenue with the minimal additional effort. We have been talking about this fact that retaining the current customer is more valuable than acquiring new customers. Therefore, if we can make a plan so that we can always keep our A customers for a longer period of time, it will derive more value for the organization. There can be another option like acquiring new more A customers, but it is always associated with something called customer acquisition cost, which we have discussed in detail in some of our previous lectures. Therefore, it is extremely important to understand or identify who our A customers are and what is the customized service they need, so that we can keep them for a longer period of time in order to make our business sustained, and over a period of time probably we can expand our business. Next, what we will look into is that the core principle of the ABC analysis. ABC analysis at the heart is the Pareto principle, as I have already said. So, what does this Pareto principle says? 20% of your customers often drive the 80% of the total business value. This is not just a guess. This 80-20 rule is not just a guess. It is based on the observation made by the economist Alfredo Pareto, and that is why it is named as the Pareto principle. What he noticed was the uneven distribution in the wealth and productivity. The value based tiers are very straightforward. A customers, basically the A customers, the top 20 customers who contribute somewhere close to 70 to 80% of the total value that the business generates. Next comes the B customers, which consist of the 30% of the total customer base, and they contribute close to 15 to 20% of the total business value. And third one is the remaining 50% customers who contributes only to 5 to 10% of the total value. Now, we can look into a situation. Let us say what happens if we lose a significant portion of our C customers. How much impact it will make for our business. And let us also look into another extreme situation where we lose most of our A category customers. Let us consider that a company is making 1 crore of profit in a year, right. Now, think about a situation, out of this 1 crore, let us say the the A customers are bringing 80% of the total value. Let us say the value is perceived in terms of profitability. A customers are bringing 80 lakhs of profit, B customers are bringing 15 lakhs of profit, and C customers are bringing 5 lakhs of profit. I will just note it down. A contribution of A customers 80 lakhs in terms of profit, contribution of B customers 15 lakhs, and contribution of C customers it is 5 lakhs. So, total 1 crore. Now, let us say we are losing 60% of our C category customers. The C category customers consist of 50% of the total customers. Let us also, for the ease of calculation, let us say that there are 100 customers. So, 20 customers will belong to A category, 30 customers will belong to B category, and 50 customers will belong to C category. So, out of this C category we are losing 60% of the customers. So, how many customers we will lose? 50 into 60%, that is 30 customers we are losing. And how much value we are losing? 5 lakhs into 60%. So, that is 5 into 0.6, that is 3 lakhs rupees we are losing, and we are losing 30 customers, right. Now, think about the reverse situation, that we are losing 60% of the A category customers. So, out of 20, how many customers are we are losing? 20 multiplied by 0.6, that is 12. In another case, we are losing 12 customers. Now, how much value we will lose in terms of this one A category customers? So, if 12 customers are lost, then in that case 80 lakhs value we had been generating. So, now 80 multiplied by 60.6. So, we are losing 48 lakhs. Just for 12 customers we are losing 48 lakhs. So, this gives the importance of ABC analysis. We cannot afford to lose A category customers, but we can definitely afford to lose C category customers. Even if we are losing 30 customers, that is okay for us, but in case of A category customers, we cannot afford to lose that many customers. So, that is why the special treatment needs to be extended specially for the valuable customers who are the A category customers. So, remember, this is about optimization. By focusing on A customers, basically what we do, we allocate the resources efficiently, like dedicating account managers to top clients while using the self-service portal for others. So, this is all about the importance of core principle of ABC analysis, right. So, next we will move to understand the ABC customer segmentation. So, matrix for ABC customer segmentation can be sales revenue, can be potential contribution margin. So, this particular slide dives into specially for the customer segmentation. As I said, the key matrix here includes the sales revenue, growth potential or the contribution margin, not just the raw sales, but much profit a customer generates after accounting for the cost, right. So, I mean matrix is dependent on the context. Sometimes we may be looking into the revenue as a matrix, sometimes we may be looking into the profit as a matrix. So, it depends on the context and purpose of this evaluation. In its core, this segmentation strategy should actually reflect the 80-20 principle. For A customers, what we need to do? We need to give them the VIP treatment, probably a dedicated manager. We need to extend the exclusive offer and let us say early access to the products, because we need to understand the fact that they are the revenue engines. Next, coming to the B category customers, what we have to focus is on the growth through targeted upselling, like personalized recommendation to move them up the ladder. There is a possibility that at one point of time B category customers can be converted to A category customers. So, that is why we take such kind of marketing interventions. When it comes to the C customers, as we know that C customers are basically low value customers. We want to keep them with us, but we cannot afford to spend more money for keeping them. So, that is why what we need to do, we can use the low cost automated engagement such as email newsletters or an automated chatbots in order to maintain a relationship with them. We do not come up with any new initiative or let us say costly initiative in order to increase the engagement with this category of customers. In the B2B context, Microsoft boosted upsells by 30% by focusing on their A customers. That is a concrete win, right? Imagine applying it to your own organization. So, if you concentrate more on the A category customers, there is a high chance that you will be able to sustain your business very easily, and over a period of time you will be able to expand the business more smoothly. Now, next let us talk about this 80-20 rule in detail. I have already said that 80-20 rule, which is also called the Pareto principle, it is nothing but about 80% of your business value comes from the 20% of your customers. ABC analysis helps you identify that vital 20% and act on it. So, you can visualize it this way. Let us say in a data set of 100 customers, the top 20 might account for 80% of the sales. Ignoring this could mean wasting resources to the bottom 80, who contribute little as compared to the top 80%, top 20%. Instead, ABC encourages the targeted strategies. What it says is that you can nurture the top, you can convert the middle, and you can efficiently manage the bottom 50% of your customers in order to optimize the overall revenue or overall profit of the organization. This particular principle is applied universally from sales to supply chain management. Everywhere the principle can be applied. Sometimes as per the empirical evidence is concerned, it may be 80-70, it may be 30-70, it may be 60-40, something like that. But in principle, this is what happens across different sphere of domains. Now, let us try to understand how to categorize the customers, how to do the segmentation based on value that is created by the customers for the business. What we have to do? First thing that we have to do is collect the revenue data. Once the revenue data is collected, then we have to rank the customer based on the value contribution. Keep cumulatively keep calculating the revenue share or the profit share, and then compute the cumulative revenue. Then whenever there is, let us say 20% customers are taken into consideration, what is the revenue that they are giving. It can be 80% or it may differ a bit, fine. So, now we have to assign the categories accordingly, and probably we can initiate the marketing strategies accordingly as per whether the customer belongs to the A category or the customer belongs to the B category or C category, right. So, this is the basic concept of ABC customer segmentation. Now, let us look at the various advantages associated with ABC customer segmentation. First one is that resource optimization. What we do in ABC segmentation, we focus efforts on high impact customers and we free up the time and budget from the low impact customers. What we are getting in return? Better revenue, better profit, lesser input and higher output. Next comes the cost reduction. For customers, it recommends to spend less on the C customers given the fact that their value contribution is minimal. We are not saying that you should eradicate the C customers, but you just need to spend lesser on C customers, let us say through an automated email, right. Then next one is this ABC customer segmentation will help you improve cash flow. By reducing the capital in low value customers, we keep more for our business. So, money flows better into the business. Then last advantage that is associated with ABC customer segmentation is that enhanced forecasting. As we know that forecasting is one of the most critical aspect of any business, right. So, if ABC segmentation is helping us in forecasting, then probably it is helping to a significant impact to for the survival of the business or for the expansion of the business. So, what we can do for forecasting? The predictive analytics for probably the A items, right. So, in the context of inventory management, retailers using ABC report 15 to 25% higher inventory turnover is recorded, right. So, that says that importance of ABC framework in business domain. The same is applicable in customer segmentation domain, right. So, now we have discussed about the advantages. So, advantages in terms of resource optimization, advantages in terms of cost reduction, improved cash flow and enhanced forecasting. Everything in this world is subject to certain limitation. So, there is no exception to even ABC framework. Now, we will try to understand the limitation associated with ABC framework, right. So, first limitation is that it is a static model. It might ignore the sudden market shifts. For example, the emergence of COVID situation. The pandemic is changing the customer behavior. So, those things are not taken into consideration, and that is the first disadvantage associated with ABC framework. Second one is that it also overlooks the qualitative factors, such as strategic partnership that are not purely revenue based. You can take a situation like a C customers today could be a customer tomorrow, especially in the B2B context, but ABC segmentation does not take that into account. When we talk about the mitigation, mitigation includes the hybrid models like combining the ABC with the XYZ analysis of demand variability. Basically, the XYZ categorizes by predictability. X category is considered to be stable, Y is considered to be variable and Z is considered to be erratic, right. And what we need to do, probably we need to keep reassessing the segmentation on, let us say, on a quarterly basis. So, that will help us making this particular framework a bit dynamic, and probably it will yield better results for the business. Now, another variation of ABC analysis is extending the ABC to ABCDE. Some of the companies and practitioners expand the tiers, while traditional ABC is of 3 categories. It can also be extended to 5 categories, and some of the practitioners used to do that. So, what do they do? In segment A, who are being placed the top tier loyal customers, highest monetary value like in ABC, and then the focus should be on the retention with personalized engagement. We have to retain this category of customers, otherwise we will lose a lot of value of the business. Then comes the segment B, which is the next 20% of the customers. We can nurture them into A with targeted promotions, loyalty incentives and personalized communication. Segment C is the middle tier. Growth can be achieved via upselling and behavioral nudges. By nudges, we mean reminding the customers of the benefits associated with the product. Then comes the bottom line, starts with the segment D. These are the lower tier. They are most of the time extremely price sensitive, and they always look for more value. They used to extensively evaluate the offers. So, what is the strategy that we can adopt for them is that re-engaging with bundles and some value offers. And the bottommost segment is the segment E. It contributes, as the definition is concerned, it contributes least to the total revenue. So, they can include the customers like the first timers or the dormant. What the company can do? The company can either treat them as the leads or the churn risk. This ABCDA variant allows more nuanced strategies, right, especially in the large data sets. For example, in case of a e-commerce company, E might be just get win back emails, or for A it might be the invitation to the VIP events, or let us say a very personalized message to the VIP customers or A category customers. Then next we will talk about the various tools that can be applied for ABC framework. As we have understood that ABC framework is a very simple framework. We just need to rank the customers based on the value created, and then probably we will first create this first 20%, how much value they are contributing, then next 30% and next 50%. So, it is nothing but a categorization and grouping based on the value, right. So, it can be done in Excel, it can be done in Python, it can be done in Power BI, or it can be done in Tableau. So, what I would request you is that you download any customers data sets from any of the freely available data sets, and then try to categorize the customers based on who belongs to A category, who belongs to B category, who belongs to C category. The value metrics that you can consider can be the revenue, the value can be the profit, whatever is available in your data sets, right. Now, if you remember, in the last sessions we discussed about the RFM framework, the recency, frequency and monetary value framework. Now, try to find the differences between these two frameworks. Of course, they can go hand in hand, but they are different in terms of its principles. Basically, if we talk about the RFM, it looks into the behavioral aspects. Recency, what happened recently. Frequency, what is happening to regularity, and what is the transaction value. So, it directly talks about the behavioral basis of segmentation. Though ABC can be complemented with the RFM, they have many differences in terms of the business visualization. As I said that RFM analyzes recency, how recent the purchase has happened, then frequency, how often the purchase keeps happening, and the monetary value. So, what we used to do in case of RFM matrix, we used to assign a score between 1 to 5. So, 5, 5, 5 means excellent in terms of recency, excellent in terms of frequency, excellent in terms of monetary value, right. So, in another fashion, the ABC focuses purely on the value contribution, typically the revenue rank without the behavioral layers of recency and frequency. RFM is basically great in real time tracking and engagement. When it comes to ABC, it excels at clear revenue prioritization. RFM rarely includes external factors like growth potential, which ABC can actually incorporate. So, what we need to do? What we need to do as a business decision taker is that we need to choose the frameworks based on the needs. Probably the RFM for dynamic marketing automation, and let us say ABC for strategic allocation. Now, let us have a look at the industry applications of ABC metric, ABC framework. So, it can be applied to retail industry, it can be applied to banking industry, it can be applied to hospitality industry. So, what happens in retail industry? The loyalty tiers. So, what do we do with this top 20% of our customers? So, if we talk about a company like Amazon, so we extend the prime facility to the A category customers. In the context of banking, we can extend the premium accounts with perks for high value customers. In case of hospitality industry, we can, let us say, sometimes we can do the room upgrades or priority bookings for the top guests, because we know that they will keep bringing more value for our organization. We at any cost we want to keep satisfying them, so that they stay with us for a longer period of time, right. So, these are basically, if we look at this application, this speaks about the versatility of the ABC framework. What you can do? You can adapt it to your sector for targeted growth of your business. So, this is all about the ABC and ABC framework for customer segmentation. I would like to conclude this discussion by stating a sentence that not all the customers are created equal. ABC segmentation helps business focus on the vital few, not the trivial many. So, that is why you need to understand who are your A category customer, who are your B category customer, who are your C category customer, and we need to keep nurturing the A category customers. We need to keep sending the personalized messages to our A category customers. We need to continue our endeavor to convert the B category customers to A category customers through certain set of recommendations, and ultimately for C category customers which should be cost conscious, and we should just try to maintain the relationship so that we can keep bringing some revenue from their part, but not by investing more amount on them. Thank you. I will see you in the next class.